One second, I was driving, listening to the radio, my little girl Ada humming in the back. The next, there was a loud bang, and the window next to me exploded. Tiny pieces of broken glass flew everywhere like sharp glittering rain. The music cut out. Ada cried out in the back seat, a sound of pure shock. Before I could even turn my head, my door was ripped open. A man with a mask covering his face leaned in. He smelled awful, like old sweat and something like rust. His voice was rough. "Give me your phone and your wallet, now." My hands were shaking. My mind, which was usually so clear, was just a mess of panic. As I was fumbling for my wallet, another man opened the back door. He was fast. He put his hand over Ada's mouth before I could even shout, "No!" The word felt like it was tearing my throat out. I tried to jump into the back, to do something, anything. But the first man hit me on the side of the head with his gun. There was a flash of bright white light, then just a ringing sound and darkness. The last thing I saw was Ada's little pink shoe as they pulled her out of the car. I heard a motorcycle engine roar to life, and then I passed out. I woke up to the sound of angry car horns. My head was pounding. For a second, I was just confused, thinking about the work meeting I was late for. Then it hit me like a punch to the stomach. Ada! I twisted around. The back seat was empty. The door was hanging open. A little unicorn backpack was on the floor. It was the saddest thing I'd ever seen. "Ada!" I screamed, stumbling out of the car into the hot afternoon sun. "Ada!" People were getting out of their cars, looking annoyed at first, then concerned. The woman asked me, "Sir, are you okay? What happened?" I couldn't answer her. I just stared at the empty space in my car. It felt like a black hole had opened up right there and swallowed my entire world. Abuja, with its nice wide roads and big important buildings, suddenly felt like the most dangerous place on earth. I always thought we were safe here. I was wrong. The police station was loud and crowded. The air smelled like dust and disinfectant. I sat on a hard bench with my wife, Idayat. She was shaking next to me, silent tears running down her face. She hadn't really spoken since I called her, just made this quiet, heartbroken sound over and over.
A tired-looking police officer named Inspector Ibrahim listened to my story. It was the third time I'd told it. "So they didn't take your wallet or your phone?" he asked. "They just took the girl?" "They asked for them," I said, my voice sounding strange to my own ears. "But they were really there for her. It was so fast." "Probably a kidnapping," the inspector said, and the word made me feel sick. This wasn't just a random robbery. They had planned this. "We'll put the word out," he said, but he didn't sound very hopeful. "But you need to think. Do you have any enemies? Anyone you owe money to?" I couldn't think of anyone. We lived a good life, but we weren't super rich. We were just a normal family. Who would do this to us? We went home. The house was supposed to be our safe place, but now it just felt big and empty. Ada's dolls were still on the living room floor. I saw her doll sitting on the couch, and I felt like I couldn't breathe. That's when Idayat lost it. She fell to the floor crying and hitting the rug with her fists. "Why did you drive that way, Emeka? I always tell you not to go that way. You never listen to me." Her words hurt, but I knew she was just scared and in pain. I wanted to yell back, to tell her it wasn't my fault, but I couldn't. I just stood there, feeling completely useless, while my wife cried her heart out. Then the phone rang. Not our cell phones, but the old landline we barely ever used. The sound was so loud in the quiet house. We both froze. It rang again. My hand was trembling as I picked it up. "Hello?" A strange, robotic-sounding voice answered. "Mr. Emeka Aliyu, we have your daughter, Don't worry, she's okay for now. My legs felt weak, and I had to hold on to a table to keep from falling. Ada, please, just let me talk to her. That's not going to happen. You need to listen. We want 50 million naira. You have 2 days to get it, and don't even think about calling the police. If you do, the price goes up. If you waste our time, you'll start getting pieces of your daughter back in the mail. Understand?
50 million. The number didn't even seem real. It was more money than I could even imagine. Please, I begged. I don't have that kind of money. I'm just an architect.
You'll find it, the voice said. We'll call you in 24 hours. Be ready.
Then he hung up. The silence that followed was terrifying. I looked at Idayat. All the hope had drained from her face, replaced by pure horror. The countdown had started. We had to find a way to buy our daughter's life back. The next 24 hours were a nightmare. We didn't sleep, we didn't eat. We just moved around the house like zombies, the shared fear hanging between us like a thick wall. I started calling everyone I knew. I emptied our bank accounts. It was nowhere near enough. I called my brother, Chike, and tried to sound calm, but my voice broke when I said Ada's name. He promised to send whatever he could. Then I had to make the hard calls. I called clients, making up stories about why I needed money right away. I called the bank manager to sell off our investments. I felt so ashamed, like I was begging. Idayat gathered up all her jewelry, her wedding rings, gold necklaces, everything. She put it all in a pile on the dining room table. It looked like a lot, but we both knew it was just a drop in the ocean. It's not enough, she whispered. Inspector Ibrahim came by later, not in his police car. I'm not here as a cop, he said, sitting down. I'm here as a father. My own daughter is 7. For the first time, I saw him as a real person. They called, I told him quietly. They want 50 million. He shook his head. They're trying to see what you're worth. Listen to me carefully, he said, leaning in. Whatever you do, do not pay them the full amount, even if you get it. If you do, they'll know you can get more, and they'll just keep her and ask for more. You have to bargain. You have to. Bargain? How could I bargain for my daughter? It felt wrong, disgusting. What if we bargain and they get angry? Idayat asked, her voice shaking. What if they hurt her? The inspector looked down at his hands. It's a very big risk, he admitted. But paying everything is a risk too. Sometimes they take the money and you still don't get your child back. You have to play their game. He left us with this impossible choice. To save Ada, I might have to risk her life. That night the call came. Do you have the money? The robotic voice asked. I took a deep breath, remembering what Ibrahim had said. I can't, I said, trying to make my voice sound broken. I've sold everything, I've borrowed from everyone. All I have is 7 million naira. Please, it's everything I have. There was a long, heavy quiet on the other end of the line. My heart was pounding so hard I thought it would break through my ribs. Do you think this is a joke? The voice said, and this time I could hear real anger behind the robot sound. You're playing games with your daughter's life. We'll call tomorrow. You'd better have a better answer. He hung up. I slid down the wall, covered in cold sweat. I had made my first move. I had no idea if it was the right one. The days that followed were pure torture. Our beautiful house felt like a cage. We kept the curtains closed and just waited for the phone to ring. Every time it did, we both jumped. Each call was a battle. I stuck to my story, crying and begging over the phone. I slowly increased my offer. 8 million, then 9.5. I was becoming an actor in my own horror movie. The voice on the other end just got crueler. One day, a picture came to Idayat's phone. It was Ada. She was sitting on a dirty floor, looking terrified. She was holding a newspaper to show the date. Her dress was dirty and her hair was a mess. When she saw it, she made a sound I will never forget, a sound of pure pain. The picture broke her. That night she screamed at me, "This is your fault, all your bargaining. Look at her. Just give them the money, Emeka. Sell the house, sell everything. Nothing matters without her." "We don't have the money, Idayat," I yelled back, finally losing my temper. "What do you want me to do?" We fought until we were both exhausted, two strangers in our own home, torn apart by our pain. After a week of hell, we had managed to pull together 15 million naira. It was a huge amount of money, but it was all we had. The next time he called, I told him, 15 million, that's it. There is no more. If it's not enough, then just do what you have to do. I was bluffing, pushing all my chips in. I was so scared my whole body was shaking. There was a long, heavy silence on the other end of the line. I could picture them on the other end, deciding if a life was worth 15 million.
"Okay," the voice finally said. 15 million. We'll call in an hour with instructions for the drop-off. But if you try anything funny, you'll be burying your daughter." I almost collapsed with relief. It wasn't over, but we had a deal. Now came the most dangerous part. The instructions were complicated, meant to confuse me. I had to put the cash in a black bag and drive my wife's car, alone. I had to leave my phone at home. My first stop was the National Mosque. As I packed the stacks of money into the bag, my hands felt numb. Idayat stood by the door as I got ready to leave. "Bring her home, Emeka. Just bring our baby home." I nodded, unable to speak. I walked out into the evening, feeling like I was walking into the dark to buy back my daughter's soul. Driving through Abuja felt strange. Life was going on as normal for everyone else. People were buying food from street sellers, heading home from work. It was like I was invisible, a ghost moving through a city that had no idea what I was going through. From a cheap phone they'd told me to buy, they sent me on a wild goose chase all over the city, from the mosque to Burger Roundabout, then to Jabi Lake. They were making sure I wasn't being followed. Finally, the last call came. Drive toward the airport. A few kilometers after the army checkpoint, turn onto a dirt road on your right. Drive down it, leave the bag, turn around, and leave. Don't look back. We will call you in the morning and tell you where to find her. The road was dark. I found the dirt track and drove into the pitch-black bush. I stopped the car. The quiet was total. All I could hear were insects and my own heart beating way too fast. I got out of the car and put the heavy bag on the side of the road. I wanted so badly to hide and see who picked it up, but I was too scared. I got back in the car, turned it around, and drove away, forcing myself not to look in the rearview mirror. The drive home was awful. I felt empty. I had paid. Now all I could do was wait and pray they were the kind of criminals who kept their word. Waiting was the worst part of all. Idayat and I sat in the living room all night, just staring at the phone. Morning came, and the sun streamed into the house, mocking us with its brightness. Still no call. The hours ticked by. Hope is a fragile thing, and as the afternoon wore on, hours started to die. It began to feel sour, turning into a terrible, sinking fear. "They aren't going to call," Idayat said late in the afternoon. Her voice was flat, empty. "They took the money and they killed her. They killed our baby, Emeka." "Don't say that," I begged. "We have to have hope." "Hope in what?" she asked, her eyes hollow. There's nothing left. Just then, my own cell phone rang. It was Inspector Ibrahim. My blood ran cold. It wasn't the kidnappers. It was the police. That could only be bad news. I answered. Hello? Emeka, I have some news. There was a shootout this morning with another kidnapping crew. We caught one of them alive.
He paused. He's been talking. He told us where to find. A place they used. I couldn't breathe. Emeka, we found her. I knew from the sound of his voice what he meant. Is she? I couldn't say the word. Emeka, I am so sorry. She's gone. The world just ended. The floor, the walls, everything disappeared. The only thing real was the inspector's voice in my ear. Idayat was looking at me, and I could see in her eyes that she already knew. The man we caught, Ibrahim continued. He said they got scared. They thought you were taking too long to get the money and that you had gone to the police. They panicked after you dropped the cash. They said she was a risk. A risk. My daughter, my sweet little Ada, who sang silly songs and loved to draw, they called her a risk. It didn't matter. None of it mattered. The money, the sleepless nights, the terrifying drive, it was all for nothing. They might have killed her long before I even dropped the bag. The thought hurt so much it felt like I was being stabbed. I dropped the phone. I looked at my wife. We were two broken people in a broken home. I don't remember going to the morgue. I just remember a white sheet and a silence so deep and so final that I knew it would never leave me. Months have passed. It's the rainy season now, and it feels like the sky is crying with us. Idayat and I still live in the same house, but it's not a home anymore. It's just a quiet, sad place filled with memories. We barely talk. What is there to say? I went back to work. I designed strong buildings that are meant to last, which feels like a joke. I couldn't protect my own daughter. Inspector Ibrahim called me one last time. We got them, Emeka, he said. We caught the man who was the voice on the phone. Good, I said, but the word felt empty. It wouldn't bring her back. He told us why they did it, Emeka, he said quietly. On the day they took her, his mask slipped for a second and Ada saw his face. That was it. From the very beginning, they were never going to let her go. I closed my eyes. It was never about the money. All of it, the phone calls, the begging, the hope, it was all a sick game. She was gone because of 1 second, one unlucky glance. I hung up the phone and looked out my office window at the city. Abuja just kept moving. Cars were driving, people were walking. The world hadn't stopped for my daughter. It didn't even notice she was gone. I tried to remember her laughing with the little gap in her front teeth, but sometimes even that picture in my head starts to get blurry like an old photograph. And I know that this quiet, this awful empty quiet in my heart will be with me for the rest of my life.